Hey there, welcome to 3Spoonies. We're your hosts, Joe, Karen, and Claire. This is episode number 9, where we're discussing networking. Join us as we dive in.
The Awards People is a specialist award writing agency who help you get the recognition you deserve for your achievements. Over the years, they've gotten to know about and meet so many individuals, charities, companies, and organisations that offer amazing products and services, but who rarely get recognised for it, or who enter awards but never get further than the nomination stage. This is where the Awards People come in, with their experience and expertise in writing multi-award winning applications. Whether you're looking for that initial research into what awards are available for you to enter, or support with your award nomination and/or award submission forms, the Awards People are the people for you. 93% of all entries go through to the finals and 81% go on to win their category. Look for the Awards People or follow the links in our show notes.
Hi there, this is Joe from Bright Cat Business Solutions.
I'm Karen from Pony Pony Pony.
And I'm Claire from Sparkle's Gift Boutique.
And together we are 3Spoonies navigating our way through life and business with not enough spoons. So welcome to the episode. As I say, we are discussing networking. And if you're a business person, this will either be the bane of your life, your favourite thing, or just one of those things you have to do, because we all know businesses thrive on connections. I actually met Karen and Claire through networking, and I recommend it just because then you find your business besties. Ladies, how long have you been networking?
Oh, Jesus. Since lockdown, that's when I first started networking properly. Well, I say properly, I do Facebook events and stuff, so it was a bit kind of networking, but not like proper meetings and getting to know people more. So probably since oh God, that'd be 4 years now.
Suppose anyway you're sort of interacting with other people through class as networking meetings, so we can discuss the length and breadth of all the different ones.
Yeah.
What about you, Karen?
Oh, years and years. I started, I think, within a week of starting my business, purely because my friend owns a coffee shop and said, "Oh, we're having a networking event. Do you want to come?" And then there I was invited to another one, and you know how it kind of happens like that. So yeah, I fell into it by accident, but I think I had a business for not very long at all without networking. So while I don't have a point of comparison, I suppose, I'd definitely not be without networking.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I think I started technically before the business started because I didn't get the insurance or any of the things I needed to be a business until I was on the verge of my first client. But I was networking for quite some time before that. I think about 3-4 months before lockdown. And yeah, it was terrifying and daunting, and I hated it. I mean, I still struggle with face to face, if I'm honest, more than any other. But yeah, it was all face to face at that point, and I would stand up and it was like, "What do you do?" And I had no idea.
Yeah, I'm still like that with face to face. When I've been to some, I don't know, it's like that stage fright fear, and you're like, you know what you need to say, but your brain just goes, no, not today. Today you know nothing.
Yeah, you don't even know your own name.
Yeah.
I think it's like that thing in a job interview when you just kind of freeze up. Like I once had a job interview to work in a cafe, and I got previous experience in a shop and a kitchen. And when you combine those, it's a cafe. But they said, "Have you had any experience?" And I went, "No," because my brain just went.
Oh no.
So I think it can be that thing. It's, you know, like that simple question, "What do you do?" And you're like, "Oh, I know what I do." But I think if you've not prepared it, at least in your mind first, you can freeze up. And then there's that just like that moment of panic, like when you think, "What is my PIN?" when you're at the checkout. And as soon as you think it, you're like, "I don't know. Oh my goodness." It's like, what do I do?
All this is stored in the back of your brain somewhere, and if you think about it, you can't have it.
Yeah, I think there's a real value in having something pre-prepared to say what you do, even if only as an opener, just so you can free up that sort of rational bit of your brain to think about the next bit or to pay attention to what other people are saying, rather than if sometimes when people are doing introductions, I don't know about anyone else, but you're thinking, right, what should I say? What should I say? Should I mention this? Should I mention that? If you've got something in mind, it does just free up your brain to be able to be in the moment a bit.
It does,
Yeah,
yeah.
I found networking online through Zoom, I found it was really nice because I could have my what I to say on the screen with my like next to it,
Mm.
even though I knew it off the top of my head, but I had it to refer to if my brain went blank. And it's just like, oh, it's there. It's like a backup.
I have found a way to do that in a face-to-face meeting. The lovely Becca Innes made me cue cards with my pitch on it, so I'm not looking at a random piece of paper. It's not my phone, so it doesn't look bad. It actually looks quite snazzy, and
Oh,
it does jogs your brain. I also do the same thing for giving talks because I
that's a
don't.
really good idea.
But oh yeah, sorry, I weren't meant to say that she did that because it was a ball like of a job.
Oh, so that never happened. It was never a thing.
Never happened.
You've got with your pitch on it, especially if it's branded on the other side. It's really professional.
Mm. Yeah, I think bullet points as a reminder sometimes, especially if you do get a bit nervous, can be really helpful, or especially if there's something new you're introducing that sometimes in the heat of the moment you can think, oh, I didn't actually mention that one thing I really should have mentioned. But I think online networking, at first, I wasn't sure, but I think Zoom networking actually really benefits introverts. So I think introverts are better at picking up on things in the room sometimes. And also, I know some people who I thought of as being like really charismatic speakers, and face to face they are. But online, when you've not got, that presence, you realise, oh, actually, you're not all that. So I think there were some people who had to relearn networking skills when they went online, which probably came as a bit of a shock to the system to some people who'd sort of been relying on that face to face thing before.
I actually found online networking sort of boosted my confidence because yeah, you've got your script there, you've got all the information you need there, and you are. If you're an introvert, you're not having that face-to-face panic. You can still see
Mm,
everybody, but you're safe in your little box. I was talking to somebody about I don't like phone calls. Don't know why I
mm.
don't like phone calls, but I don't. I never have. It gives me great anxiety. It's not the same with a Zoom call. If I can see you and there is that interaction, especially you're not looking at each other's eyes, there's not the actual physical face-to-face full contact and body language, it's really helpful. And I think that helps me with my confidence in networking as well.
Yeah, I think that's true. And also in terms of convenience, like I used to go to multiple face-to-face meetings a day, and the thought of doing that now is just utterly
It's just so
exhausting.
nice to be able to be like, let me just turn my laptop on and I'm in a meeting. It's just the ease of it is just so lovely. You can
Yeah.
go make, go make a quick cup of tea, you can be comfy, you can network in your pajamas and no one knows about it.
My very first client was one I got from doing a networking event in Derby. Now, for anybody who knows the UK, Nottingham and Derby are not that far apart, unless you don't drive and you need to get a bus into the sticks of Derby. It would take you 2 hours each way for a 2 hour meeting. That's a full day. And it got me my first client. Great. I wouldn't even dream about it these days. If it's going to take me longer than half an hour, no.
Mm.
And even then, I'll think about it because obviously, since then, I've got all the worse health wise. And so it's like, is it worth it?
Can I manage it and actually get there without being like feeling like death afterwards?
It's like, is it going to throw the rest of my week out? What else have I got?
Yeah, it's definitely a balancing act. I do quite like face-to-face networking. I think it has to be the right event for me. It has to be a good match and somewhere that's easy to get to as well, which has been a huge thing. There's been loads of things where I've gone, oh, that looks great. And then I've looked at how to get there practically, and it's like, yeah, no, that's not gonna be a thing. And thing I really like about the face-to-face ones actually is that you can chat to someone straight afterwards if they seem interesting, rather than having to book in a one-to-one because you're already there, and you can make a bit more of a day of it if you're going out anyway. That can work quite well, or the ability to sort of chat to specific people who look interesting, which you can't necessarily do online. So I think it definitely has a place. I think there'll be some people who definitely prefer face-to-face. It's just sort of weighing up whether it's practical and what you're getting out of it at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think the thing to remember is there's lots of different types. So especially if you're new, give them all a go and find out what you like. Like, for example, speed networking. I hate speed networking because it's just so tiring. I need to go lay down in a dark room afterwards, no matter how long it is. And, you know, it's the same conversation of what do you do over and over again, because that's all you've got time for. Whereas I like to have a good chat. Unless it's deep, it does remove the issue of if you are clearly not compatible with somebody, you're stuck in rooms.
True,
It does eliminate that.
Yeah,
But
I think it's... Oh, sorry, you go ahead, Claire.
yeah, no, it's right. It's, you know, I love speed networking and I really enjoy it because sometimes I'm not always great at small talk or kind of getting those conversations going. Depends on how my brain is that day. Sometimes for me, speed networking is perfect because it's just short and to the point. But then afterwards, I'm like, I can't. I have to block out a good couple of hours to be like, I need to decompress now because
Mm.
my brain is fried, and it's then you come back to this list of people that you've spoken to, and it's like, right, connect.
Yeah, it's often when I'm online, I will connect with people in the meeting because I know that the more I can get done in the meeting, you know, even if it's only connect on LinkedIn, you know, that's that starting point, definitely. But yeah, I need to decompress after a meeting. And if I don't get things done within a certain amount of time, you know, when you've come back to notes after a bit and you can't quite remember what you meant by this thing you squiggled down, or it's yeah, I think the sooner you can do it the better, also because they remember you as well, because really that other person might go networking every day multiple times a day, and they might have no idea who you are a week from now. So it's also putting in the time to, you know, follow up, connect with people who seemed interesting, you know, having a meeting with people, or, you know, whatever you're going to do. It's sometimes it can be like, oh, I've done the meeting, that's it, and I'll rely on other people to get in touch with me. And they won't necessarily. So I think you also need to sort of put out some time either straight after or when you've recovered enough to have rational thought again to say, right, yeah, let's get in contact with those people. You know, this person seemed interesting. This person seems like someone I could work with, or, you know, things like that. It's sort of the connections afterwards where you get the real value.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing is to remember, even if there might not be someone in the room, you think, oh yes, I need to speak to them because like you need their stuff or they might need your stuff, but it's their connections as well. You need to work through that network and really you're growing your network to their network as well. However, it's now time for some spoonfuls of loveliness and loads of great things from our sponsors.
Are you struggling in the constantly changing world of marketing? You're unsure how to wrangle your strategy or corral your content to attract your next customer? Well, hold on to your hat because help is now here. At Escape the Village, we're not just another marketing company. We're your trusted marketing experts ready to ride alongside you. Check out our blog for marketing insights or join the stampede to our Meet the Herd. And if you've got any questions, just holler. With over 3 decades of marketing wisdom under our belts, we're more than just another shiny, trendy agency. We're your partners in success. And here's a little something extra for you. Mention this podcast and we'll happily rustle up a 10% discount on our strategy focus hour. Plus, we'll throw in a free mini audit to sweeten the deal. That's all at escapethevillage.com. Links in the show notes.
Obvious Books is an award-winning independent fiction publisher who love breaking the rules of publishing. We were the first in UK publisher to produce a dyslexia-friendly version of all our adult titles, believing great stories should be accessible to everyone. Established in 2020 amid the COVID pandemic, which may or may not have been a good idea, our dyslexic-friendly fiction features a larger dyslexic-friendly font, increased line and letter spacing to prevent blurring, and are also printed on cream paper to reduce glare. We are working with some amazing authors and are working hard on bringing established authors and brands into our dyslexic-friendly mission, as publishing should be. Welcome back to our episode on networking. So we've discussed the face-to-face, the online, the actual meetings. What other types of networking do you do?
I do more, it's weird. I do more kind of Facebook events. So it's like selling in Facebook groups. And I suppose that is classed as networking
Yeah, I'd class that
because
as
you are getting to know people in those groups and different audiences. And surprisingly, it's weird for me because I hate social media, but it's one of my biggest sources of revenue that it comes from is from those Facebook events. It makes such a difference. And but then there's not as much engagement. So I do sometimes I do miss the social side of your Zoom networking
Mm.
because obviously you can talk in a chat a little bit, but it's not very much getting to know people properly. So Zoom online works really well for that. Like your social media networking is very, I've got a market store, I'm selling to you, but you don't really get to know someone as well.
Yeah, I mean, I network through the community group, a few others, and I know a lot of people do it on LinkedIn,
Mm.
which is a great starting point. It can be the whole point. Then you can get people, you meet people in a meeting or just have a chat on Zoom. That then takes it to the next level, but it's a great starting point.
Yeah, definitely. I think sometimes it's just random conversations you have, when you just really click with someone, and sort of it depends what you're doing. I mean, for instance, if you were a counselor or something, then obviously you'd absolutely need to click with people. It's absolutely vital, whereas it might not for others. But there's definitely people when we've had a discussion about something completely off the wall, but we've gone, do you know what? We get on, let's look for opportunities to do things. And sometimes those things can work really well. I know some people are like, blah, 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 only talk about business on LinkedIn and be proper business people at the business factory and never have fun. And I just think there's more to life than business all the time. While I don't entirely like the spammy silly posts, which are just there as engagement bait, I think getting to know people is amazing. And I've certainly booked in one-to-ones with people based on the fact we've got the same silly sense of humor about something, or it's important. We're people, we crave some sort of connection with other people on some level. I don't think that should be seen as a negative.
Shouldn't know. And it's like to think when the people that want to make it all business, but business is built on people, so you have to be you. You have to show who you are, not just. Otherwise, you're just the same as everybody else. And then how are they going to choose you?
Mm.
I mean, not like,
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's also standing out as well if you seem like a real person and someone else doesn't. If there's a straight choice, then that, and we naturally gravitate towards people we get along with, maybe because we've got the same quirky weirdness or the same interests or something else. And a lot of people work in a market where realistically there's a lot of other people doing something similar. It's sort of the connections that count for a lot. And you know, things like Twitter hours, discussions on LinkedIn, groups you're in, all of that, it absolutely is networking. And, it takes a bit longer, but it's valuable, and it's putting you in people's mind, and it's staying in their minds as well. And it doesn't have to be sort of a cynical, like, oh, I'm going to try and look likable today, so I make 30 fake online friends. It's no, but it's something that happens naturally, and it just happens, and we've all seen it happen, we've all experienced it. And it's, at the end of the day, if someone's a valuable contact, the fact you met them online rather than face to face, does it matter? Does that make a difference in the long term? Is it any less of a contact? I wouldn't say so personally.
no, I
I mean, you
would.
look at us, we met each other online, and what it took it was 2 years before we met in person.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it
And
was.
it was 2 years where I met Karen in person, and she's about 4 tram stops away from me.
Yeah, I mean, at least I've got an excuse. I live further up north, so
I mean, we were under lockdown for a lot of it, but
yeah.
yeah, it's
But it's and I think that was the thing that I liked about the online networking. I got to meet so many people from all over the country,
Yeah.
even some from other countries. That and there's just so many people that are now in my life as friends, as business connections, kind of a mix of all of it that I wouldn't have without that bit of online networking. It does kind of open up a lot more.
It does, and it brings a lot more people together. And it's really weird, but also really amazing. If you've been networking online with them quite some time, to then actually meet them in person.
yes.
But they feel like family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's very true. It's like I remember when chat rooms first became a thing and you could find someone on the other end of the world who liked the same video game as you or the same music as you. And, it didn't matter where they lived. What mattered is that you cared about the same thing. And, especially for people with very nichey businesses, the ability to find those people who share your values or your interests and things like that. In some ways it's so much easier now, and I could, if I needed to stay in a random town across Britain and large parts of America and Canada, I could now have a contact where I could say, can I crash on your couch? I'm slightly too old to be doing that respectfully, but I could. And that is purely from, meeting and connecting with people. And I'm not the peopliest person in the whole history of the world, to be honest. So
I think all three of us are like that, though. I remember my first online meeting. I was so scared to go along, and the thought of having to deliver a pitch about what my business is. I actually got Chelsea to write it for me because my brain went dead. I was like, I don't know what to write. I don't know what to say. So she gave me a pitch. I had a 40-second pitch, and I think I'd done it in like 20 seconds. I talked so fast, wanted it done so I could hide back in my screen, mute myself, and just sit there. It was so scary, but by the end of it, I absolutely loved it. And the more I went, the more my confidence grew. And it was just like, oh, I can do this. I can wing it a bit, depending on who's in the room, who I'm talking to. I can talk about a different part of my business. And yeah, it definitely done a lot for my confidence in talking to people, because I'm one of those that would stand there in a room and just not really talk to anyone because I was too shy.
And that amazes me, because knowing you now, and you're quite happy talking to people. But I would say the same. I mean, being a live action role player put me masses away from where I was when I started, where I wouldn't talk to anyone. I was terrified of people. And networking sort of did the same for me, but like it boosted it up another level. And yet, I was afraid of my first online networking. I'd done a few face-to-face ones, and it's terrifying. It's like, oh God, everybody can see me. But everybody can see when you're online as well, even though you're in your little box. But that wasn't as bad. I was still safe behind my little box.
Like it's
Yeah.
like being in your own home gave you a little bit of security, and it's like, but behind a screen, it's okay.
Yeah, it's I think it's also sort of a comfort zone thing. And while I don't agree with the whole you should push yourself outside of your comfort zone all the time, because like Maslow's hierarchy of needs very much says that isn't the case. That when you're quivering from fear, you may not operate at your best. But it's trying things out because you don't know until you try. And like there could be people listening or watching now who find that actually face to face is brilliant for them. Whereas online, they feel there's not the same connection, it doesn't work. That's the thing, it's try things out, go with your gut, to be honest, because there'll be some meetings you go to and you think, it's not for me, or you might think, do you know what, I'll give it another go, it wasn't bad, or yeah, I really like this. And also don't be pressured into things, because sometimes you can visit a group and they'll sort of be like, oh, sign up now and do this and do this, and you can kind of get caught up in it. It's always fine to take a step back, think about it, and maybe later you'll go, actually, yeah, do you know what, I love that group, I want to be there, it's brilliant. But don't be pressured into it, and also don't be pressured into having one-to-ones with people. I think often one-to-ones are great. Like I've found out more about people, and there are people, and I thought, oh, I'm not sure how this could work. But I've chatted to them and gone, do you know what? Actually, yeah, I've learned a lot about what you do, and yeah, I could see myself recommending you to people because I've seen your product. It's great. That doesn't happen without the one-to-one. So sometimes it's like, do you know what? Go with it. But sometimes if your spam filter's going off, like, I don't know about the two of you, but I've had calls that were there purely to talk me into joining a triangular shaped self-improvement
Yes.
program, shall we say?
Or a organisation where you can earn their own points and then use their own points with other people in the organisations.
Yeah,
Or
it's
it's
it,
or it's
it
a, oh, I saw you at a meeting. I can cure your health condition.
Oh yeah, oh
No,
that's
you can't.
oh my goodness, yeah, yeah. If your alarm bells are going off, then
Trust
it's
them.
as I said, sometimes you'll be wrong, sometimes it'll turn out there's a lot more to it than you thought. But it's also okay if someone has just launched into a sales pitch, particularly if they're like, oh, I'm just going to share screen so I can show you this presentation. No. No, if you did not sign up for that, you are perfectly within your rights to walk away. And if you don't feel able to, you can always just leave and be like, oh yeah, my internet cut out. Oh, and it's stopped working for the rest of the time. So's bye.
Run away.
yeah. Remember, is with networking, you're meant to be learning about each other, and it should just be a chat, not a sales pitch.
Yeah.
Unless that is of the meeting is to pitch. There are a few, but
Mm.
usually no. Talk to people, get to know them.
I think the biggest thing I learned with it as well, to kind of really help my confidence, is to have fun with it.
Yeah.
Don't take yourself too seriously, and just enjoy it. And like Karen said, it's finding what works for you and what kind of, because there's so many different networks, different styles of meetings, and all these other things. It's finding the one that you're more comfortable with and that
Mm.
you really enjoy.
And also, the best tip I was ever given is have a role in the meeting. So that could be you're part of a team. If like you really like the meeting, you might want to sign up to help run it. But if you're not up for that or up for that yet, give yourself a role in your mind. So at one point, I was very nervous at meetings. So I became in charge of the coffee, and that was my job that I'd assigned myself because people always had trouble with the machine and pressing the buttons. So I'd show people how to do it. And then I was talking to them and we'd had a discussion and we could introduce ourselves. I could introduce them to other people if I wanted to, which I never would have done in a million years if I'd not given myself that role. And then when I felt a bit better about that, I was like, right, if anyone looks nervous, I'm going to go over and talk to them because I've been that nervous person in the corner on my own and I didn't much like it. So even though
I've
I'm as
seen
nervous
you
as
do
they
that,
are,
and it's quite interesting to watch you do that actually. But yeah, you do very well. But yeah, that's a really good way of doing it because it then quiets down part of your brain because you're doing something, you've got a thing to do and focus on that your brain's going, oh my God, what's happening? What do I do? Who am I? It's not noticed anymore.
yeah. And by the time you started a conversation, you're off. It's get the ball rolling.
It is.
Hashtag geek signaling.
You love your explanation of Geeksignalling. Would you like to give it for people?
Yeah, well, I think it's that whole people buy from people. We're all geeky about something, whether it's sports or music, it could be part of your job. There's something you're really into. And I think it's a great thing if you can bypass small talk and get straight to that interesting thing. So if rather than saying, hello, I'm this person and I do this thing, if you can connect in some way, ask a question, talk about something you love, your pets at home, anything to get a conversation going, or even better, talk about what you love about your job or what you do. Those moments when you see someone light up, that's when you start to like them, when you can see the real passion. So, ask people questions about, why did you start doing what you do? What is it you like? Those are when you really get to know people. And it's much easier than going, oh, did you find parking okay? And a bit rainy out, isn't it? I'm terrible at doing that. So,
But then any topics, Claire?
Um, I think I've already kind of stated them really. Mine is have fun with it. find what you enjoy, find the place that you enjoy, and be yourself.
Mm.
Because even though you're scared of being yourself and how people see you, people will embrace you for being yourself. And, it's fine to be a bit weird and crazy. We all are in our own way. So, yeah, I think be yourself and have fun.
I'd echo that one, the be yourself one. As Karen says, you light up when you're you and when you're passionate about something. Karen, any last tip?
Yeah, be comfortable in that. Don't wear those new lovely shiny shoes that pinch your feet. Don't wear clothes that you think are professional but don't feel comfortable, because that itch is going to bother you and you're not going to be able to be yourself. And equally, if you're online, make sure you've got a drink to hand. Make sure that you're going to be able to engage with the meeting, because you're not there going, "Oh, I desperately need to cough and my throat's so dry, but I can't show that I am human."
Yes, I mean, I could have an entire rant on the idea of professional looking, and I won't. I have read a blog on it. Maybe another time, if you want that rant, you can have that rant. My tip would be find your people, talk to people, find out who they are, find your people, and they will cheerlead you, and they will find new places for you and all lovely things. And find your business besties, because it really helps and makes business and networking much, much easier. Okay. Thanks for joining us on this episode of 3Spoonies on networking. We'd love to know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our weekly podcast and leave us a review. You can find us on social media. Our links are all in the show notes. We'd love to see you in the Business Success Network for Disabled Entrepreneurs Facebook group. You can also buy us a coffee if you like what we do. The links for those are also in the show notes. We'll be back next week for community questions. Have a great day and keep track of spoons.